All right. It's California. That was... Jeez, oh, man. We are definitely on backup fucking power. What is up, everyone? It is Chris Aiken. That was Substance D with California, and a guy who's broke down like he should be from California right now, but he's on backup power, and he's with me right now, is the mighty Neeley. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm on backup power. I'm on Chris Aiken power right now.
Yeah, no shit. Can you turn yourself down?
Yeah, I can do that.
You're like booming.
Let me see here. I got some new equipment here in the studio, so I'm going to try to get us settings.
Yeah, you're like booming loud.
All right. Audio. Microphone.
Turn that motherfucker down.
All right. Hang on a minute.
All right.
Let's see here. That would be recording devices.
Yes. Testing. 1, 2. Testing.
Yeah, microphone. And levels. There we go.
Yeah, you would be loud.
How's that?
That's much better. Much. Go ahead.
Yeah, it had the microphone boost on.
Yeah, you don't need that. That's for sure.
All right, are we good now?
Seem to be.
Okay.
At least on this end. How's it going on your end?
Oh, well, once again, I tried to do a little server maintenance early in the afternoon, and it just didn't work out quite that way.
And so we're still out. Are we still waiting?
Yeah, it's still waiting. I'm not sure what all the data is that this thing is loading up, this broadcast software, but for whatever reason, it used to boot up in like a matter of minutes, then it took an hour, then it took 2 hours. Now we're going into 3 hours now.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to put my IT hat on and do some server work this week.
Yeah, why don't you do something for your keep?
Well, because you do everything. You're the leader.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I'm the comedy entertainment. You're the leader, man. You're supposed to do everything else except tell the jokes.
Exactly. So you bring the funny.
That's right. I'm the funny one, remember? I see that a lot.
Yeah. Chris is the funny one.
Yeah. Neely's the one with common sense. Chris is the lovable asshole goofball.
Yeah. The thing is, strangely enough, somehow that just works.
Yeah. Hey, as long as everybody's happy and they're getting the show they want, good on them. That's what I say.
Yeah. That's what I say, pal.
Yep. You got it.
Well, anyway, we kind of broke a little protocol tonight, and, instead of waiting around forever and a day to get this show going, we're kind of doing things in reverse here for a little while anyway.
Yeah, for as long as we need to.
Exactly. So anyway, this week, or actually last night, you ventured out of the house once again.
I did.
And you actually took in a quote-unquote a hair band show.
I did. First time in my life I've had enough hair to go to a hair metal show and actually enjoy it like a hair metal fan should.
Yeah. So did you buy tickets for this, or did you get a hookup?
No, I bought them. I obviously we could have called any number of people to get the hookup, but I just didn't want to.
Yep.
It's one of it's one of those things too. I thought about calling Robert Mason because we obviously have a relationship with him. From when he hosted the show and everything else. So
right.
I did think about it for a minute, and then I was like, you know what? We haven't talked to Robert in a really long time, and our interaction warrant-wise has not been exactly, friendly all the time.
Well, we don't have Jennifer on our side.
We don't, but we have goofed on their wine and talked about the fact that they did a cover about drinking too much. And
right.
I was like, maybe that's not the camp I go to. And then I thought about Jack Russell, and I was like, well, I don't know what we've said about, I couldn't remember what we had ever said about Jack. I don't think anything bad, but I just was like, you know what? I don't always have to be a whore. I can just actually come out my pocket, and honestly, coming out of my pocket, I knew I'd get better tickets, so I was like, whatever, I'll just spend the money.
So you went to the casino, the Roxino, as it were.
I did.
And who opened for who? Was it Jack opening for Warrant?
Yeah, it was Jack. Jack Russell's Great White was the opener, and then Warrant. But Jack had to have played 12, 13 songs, and And then Warrant played their whole set. So it was like a co-headline type of a deal, but I think Jack might have played like 10 minutes less than Warrant did.
Right. Well, I noticed that Jack had like a splint or something on his hand.
Dude, he comes out on stage, and I will say up front, the guy has improved dramatically from the last time I saw him.
You mean physical-wise or vocal-wise?
Physical-wise.
Right.
He was in much better condition. He was running around the stage the whole night. He's spinning around and singing and having fun, and he was definitely active. You know, unlike the old days where he came out and wheeled out his colostomy bag and took a seat on the stand.
Yeah, he had to sit on a bar stool for the entire show.
Yeah, so he was better than that. But he comes out, the one hand is completely fucking casted up from the, past the wrist. Two of the fingers are splinted bent, almost like they formed it so that he could hold a microphone. And then his other hand was all taped up as well. And he said during the show that he got into a fight a couple of nights ago after a show.
He got into a fight?
That's what he said.
Jack Russell was in a fight.
That's what he said. He said, now it could have just been stage shtick. It probably was.
Yeah.
But he said that they were doing a meet and greet after a show a couple of nights ago, 3 nights ago, whatever. And some guy started yelling at him about fucking his girlfriend 25 years ago. So he started punching him in the face.
Okay. Well, Jack isn't exactly, I mean, if there's any truth to that at all,
yeah,
or any validity to that at all. But Jack is not in any kind of physical condition to try to take on anybody.
Yeah, the only way I could see that truthfully happening is when he was punching the guy in his face. It was because the guy couldn't get out of his wheelchair.
Yeah.
Because Jack does not seem the type to go 15 rounds with anybody.
Well, I mean, Jack is not in any condition to go do anything physical wise.
No.
I mean, he's just so crippled up.
Yeah.
That, I wouldn't be surprised that if he bumped into something too hard, he'd snap a bone.
Yeah, dude, missed a bone.
Yeah, missed a bone.
Yeah. It's funny because I really was impressed with the fact that he was not stationary. I mean, he really, truly, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. He was all over the stage. Yeah. And he was like the whole night, not like for 1 or 2 songs and then took up a position in the middle of the stage. He truly was running back and forth the whole show.
Yeah. Well, I saw him 3 times last year.
Okay. So was he moving or no?
He was running around. He was moving around. He opened for Dokken on 2 of those shows. And,
right.
He was out running around, but the thing is after he left the stage, then he would have his walking stick with him.
Yeah.
So he definitely saves it up for the stage, for the 45 minutes or an hour that he performs.
Right.
Then after that, then he's back to walking with a stick or a cane.
No doubt. Dude, I got to tell you a funny story from last night, though. So we're watching Jack Russell play, and his voice, before I even get to that, his voice is still fucking amazing.
He does. He sounds great.
He sounds studio quality great singing those songs. I mean, he really sounds good, and he's got a good band. Overall, I will definitely give his Jack Russell's Great White show a thumbs up. It was definitely entertaining. But it's hard to watch him. When you saw him, did you think that it's just hard to watch because he does look so cripply?
Yeah, he's feeble.
Yeah, and it's hard to watch him. So we're watching him, and I'm sitting there with Kelly, and we're talking about him, and I was like, he's still really pretty good, but he's tough to, saying the same thing I'm saying now, tough to look at. And she's like, oh no, he looks really good. I was like, what, are you fucking kidding me? And she's like, no, he looks really good, and she didn't know any of the stuff about being sick. And I told her, I said, he almost fucking died like a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago. And she's like, no way, he looks really good. This and that. And I was like, how can you fucking say he looks really good? And she's like, well, I'd still fuck him.
Really?
I was like, are you kidding me?
That's too good.
I was like, That guy? Are you looking at the guitar player and thinking that's Jack Russell? I mean, shit. Right. But she did, and she was dead. She stuck to that until Robert Mason came out, and then she had a new boyfriend. But
right. Well, I got pictures of Jack and I from back in the 90s.
Okay.
Together.
Sure.
And then I've got pictures of Jack and I currently.
Okay.
Just two different people.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
he's literally lost inches in height.
Yeah. I mean, in the 80s and early 90s, I mean, he was one of those, like Vince Neil and all those other guys. He was one of those like sex symbol guys, Sebastian Bach, that the chicks all wanted to fuck. I get that. But now he looks like a bad B actor for Pirates of the Caribbean.
He does.
He just looks unhealthy and still brings it. There's something about that too. I think you could probably look like just about anything if you could sing. Some chick will suck your dick that night.
That is true.
I think don't you think that is a truism?
Yeah, musicians get all kinds of exemptions.
Yeah.
Especially if you're beloved, and you sing songs that the chicks like.
Yeah. Well, I was blown back into my chair when she said, "Oh, I'd still fuck him." I was like, "Whoa. Wow. Okay. All right. Good for you."
Yeah. So Jack was great.
Yeah.
And then Warrant came out with Robert Mason on vocal.
They did. Have you seen that with Robert?
Oh, yeah. I've seen it probably 6 times.
Oh, wow. See, that was my first run with Robert. And it may be, I was thinking about this today, it may very well be all the original guys except Janie Lane. But Warrant is Robert Mason's band now.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, he has a presence, obviously.
He's the presence. The other guys, to me, were barely there. They did not, to me, they did not present anything where I was like, oh, yeah. I'm glad I got to see that Joey Allen solo or whatever.
Right.
It was nothing like that. They just played the songs. And, I mean, they played them well. But, I mean, all eyes were on Robert for an hour and a half. He makes that band now.
Well, I mean, they were lacking a dynamic frontman. I mean, obviously, Jamie St. James fronted them for a few years, and
sure,
they did okay with him. And obviously, everybody wants to see the original, but now that Janie is 6 feet under,
right,
they don't really have a choice.
Right.
And Robert is such a stellar singer that he can do. He can do so many different styles of music and sing for different bands. And
sure,
I think he does the Warrant stuff justice.
He does a great job. And that was the other thing is it, I saw Warrant with Janie any number of times, 10, 15 times, because obviously especially with the Billy connection, Warrant coming to town was always a, hey man, let's go to the show. And he was like, yeah, brother, let's go. Billy was always like that. So seeing it last night with Mason, different sound. He doesn't try to mimic Janie. Like his inflections are a little bit different especially on the ballads, but he makes them his own, and they were really, really strong. I was very impressed because, truth be told, we were both kind of like, we didn't get any drinks. We got there a little bit late, and the bar was just stupid packed to get a drink right before Great White went on.
Well, it was a Friday night.
Yeah. But we didn't get any drinks. So, and then when we tried to come out in between, it was impossible to get fucking out. Just to get out, because listen to this fucking logistical stupid nightmare. So you haven't been to the Roxino, have you?
Yeah, I went.
Have you?
We were there together. Remember, we went to see Dokken.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. So you remember
I've been there twice, I think.
Okay. So you remember there's really only one entrance in, that one big double door to come in. And the bar is right there. Like you come out into a foyer.
Yeah, well, you and I sat and had drinks.
Right. But there's, I'm talking about once you're inside there. Inside the venue.
Right.
There's like you pass the bars and stuff, and then you come in, and there's only one way in or out to the actual room where the concert is. And right outside of that room is where the bar is. You know, the where they serve drinks, I guess. It's not really a bar. It's just a drink portal. Well, okay. Everybody filed out. All 3,000, 2,000 people filed out at the same fucking time. Got bottlenecked into the door, so you couldn't even get out. And then everybody was in line. Plus, they had the meet and greet for Great White right there next to the fucking door. So you had every fucking person that wanted to go take a piss, get a drink, get a water, get a nacho, whatever they wanted to get, stuck in that one 10 by 10 area. It was fucked up. So we couldn't get a drink to, in between bands. And so we had actually said, we were like, well, we'll stay for a little bit of Warrant, and if they suck, we're out of here. Because we wanted to go drink. And Warrant kept us the whole night, and, we were like one of the last groups to leave because we didn't want to get in that bottleneck again after the show either, so we just waited till everybody fucking left. But
you were thinking, if this place catches on fire, there's no way out of here.
Well, funny you bring that up, because where we were sitting, we were in row H. So that's what, 7 rows back, 6, 7 rows back. And we were right on the end, the outside end. So we had really pretty solid seats. But the first thing I did when I got in there was I figured out where the fucking exit was.
Sure.
Because I was like, all right, I could get from here to there with a couple of elbows, and nobody, including security, is going to stop me. But you got to make sure. I know that's fucking mean or whatever to think that, but you got to make sure at a Great White show.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. So, but Warrant, we had planned to leave after like 4 or 5 songs, and Warrant kept us the whole time. It was a really fun show. Just a good time.
Well, good. So what was the standout for you? What did you like as far as the songs were concerned for both Jack and Warrant?
I'm a ballad guy, as you're well aware, and I was surprised that they did Blind Faith, because that wasn't really a hit, was it? I don't think. Warrant did Blind Faith, and that surprised me a little bit, and that was really good. And Warrant didn't do anything that really stunned me. They did Hole in My Wall, which I would have been better if they would have done Machine Gun from that record.
Right.
But Warrant played what you expect them to play, and they played them well, and it was solid. Jack Russell, he just sounded so good. I don't know that there was every song sounded good. He played all the things that you would expect. Played a couple of tunes from the new record, which, whatever. They fit with what he was doing. But, he played the songs you want to hear, Rock Me, and he didn't play Face the Day. That was the only thing that I was expecting to hear, and I did not hear. But other than that, he fucked up Once Bitten, Twice Shy. That was interesting. He just totally went with the wrong lyrics to start the song. Like maybe the drugs were kicking in or something. I don't know. But they started playing the song, and he just started fucking up the words, and everybody on the stage didn't know what to do. So they just kind of started over. Didn't say nothing about it, just started over.
Yeah. Jack, you're slipping on us. We're just going to start over. Take it from the top.
Yeah. But it overall good show, fun time. Jack's band is really good. That guitar player can play. I don't know who that guy is, but
Robbie. What's his name? Robbie?
Yeah, something Robbie Huffner or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's good, man. Could be Jack's kid because he looks like he's about 22, but the kid can play. He played solid. Overall, the whole show was really, really strong, man. Was it over the top? You know my taste, and that's neither of those are in my top 20, but it was a good show, and it was entertaining, and you know what? It was better than sitting home watching fucking Sneaky Pete like I did today.
Very good. Well, my week was not as adventurous.
Oh, no?
Just for me, it was about getting purchase orders and taking the cash.
Right.
Very uneventful.
Yeah, just doing your thing, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
I understand that.
I wish I had some good stories to tell, but I haven't really been out and about to do anything recently. But I see that our good friend Jerome hasn't made an invite to us.
He did.
Over the Melodic Rock Fest in May.
Now, you say Jerome. I say best CMS fan ever.
Okay.
Jerome rules, man.
Yeah. So he made an offer to you and I, and perhaps any of the participants in the Melodic Rock Fest to make the trip out to his place and have a hang if we wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to do that. I don't know how we'll do that because I don't know what the timing's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the scheduling or anything, so I don't know where we're going to be or what's required of us to do this thing.
But I'm thinking if one of the days, I'm thinking the Saturday can't start at noon, can it? It's probably starting at like 3 o'clock or something. Don't you think?
I don't know. I know nothing.
Yeah, I don't know either yet. But
we're going to have to coordinate with Andrew and find out what the schedule is like. Yeah. Because it sounds like Jerome wants us to, make a weekend of it.
Yeah, and I'm all for that. I'm definitely up for doing whatever. I told him, or I answered him back, because I think he emailed me separate than you.
He did. He sent an email, and he said that he sent you the same email.
Yeah, but I answered him back and said, look, the only thing I care about, is that I got to be where I'm supposed to be for the event itself. But, sleep is not necessarily an option. I could avoid sleep if we're going to be partying and having fun.
Right.
It's fine with me. I don't care. I'm rolling to Chicago for 4 days. I'm going to have some fucking fun.
Yeah. If I'm going to make the trip, I'm going to make it worth my while, damn it.
I really am. Dude, you know me, Mr. Don't save anything and don't keep money aside or anything. I've actually put aside $1,000 just to fucking blow on this trip. Just to fucking drink with and eat with and have fun with.
Well, look at you.
I'm trying to make it so that it's fun, man. It'll be good.
Good for you.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Now, tell me the law. Can I bring my gun to go shooting or no?
I think you can, but obviously it's got to be like it's not, he doesn't live within Chicago proper. Mm-hmm. So that's really not an issue.
But the gun would be in Chicago proper in the car.
Yeah, but I think you can keep it in the trunk.
Okay.
You can put it in the trunk, out of the passenger compartment.
All right.
So you can transport it that way.
Right. Do I need an armed guard?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. I mean, maybe I'll just not. I mean, I'm sure he's got some weapons that we can use. So,
sure.
I just don't tell any of the protesters that we're going to be shooting guns, dude.
Right.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, because we need more laws.
Yeah, we do. Sure we do. But no, Jerome is great, and his offer is fantastic, and I mean, over the top kind, and I appreciate it to no end. I mean, for me to drive to Chicago twice in a month, that's something. I don't usually drive to Chicago twice in 5 years, and for me to do it 2 times in 1 month, that's going to be something different, but going to be fun. I can't wait, man. It's only like a month away, right?
Yeah, it's 4th, 5th, and 6th of May, so it's about a month and a week.
Yeah, 5 weeks away. That's good, man. I got to get my back fucking right so that I'm not dying the whole time. But other than that, I'm beyond pumped to come up there. And have you been listening to the music at all?
I have.
And what do you think? I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm liking a lot of the bands. Actually, I didn't know a whole lot about many of them, but. I like a lot of what I'm hearing.
Well, it should be a good weekend. So if anybody is in the Chicagoland area, come on out May 4th, 5th, and 6th to Arlington Heights. Mm-hmm. And what's in the Home Bar?
The Home Bar in Arlington Heights.
And come on out to the 3-day event.
Yeah.
Because Chris Aiken and myself will be out there introducing the bands, just like our hero Eddie Trunk does.
Yeah, we're taking some of Eddie's thunder.
Exactly. So come on out and enjoy that weekend, and we should have a good time with that.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a great time, man. It's going to be fun. So, but yeah, that's what's pretty much going on, man. What you do all day today? Anything fun, or did you just hang?
Oh, I hung out, took the beautiful girlfriend out to lunch today.
All right.
We hung out for a little bit, and then I came home, and I was doing some work here in the studio and doing the updates, which kind of fucked us up tonight. But we're back up and running, by the way.
Oh, good.
So.
Well, then what we should probably do, we'll do it in a minute, because I still have one more thing I want to talk to you about real quick. But
sure.
I think what we'll do is maybe once we're done with this, do I need to play like a song while you get everything in order, and then we'll do the switch?
Everything's ready to rock as soon as we break. All you have to do is disconnect, and I'll hit play, and we're ready to go.
Okay. Well, I definitely have one thing on TV for you to watch, for you specifically to watch, and probably a lot of our fans as well. You still have Netflix, right?
I do. That's probably my mainstay between Netflix and Amazon. Those are my two main things that I watch.
Have you seen? I only clicked it because it was advertised, and then I watched the whole thing today. The whole thing is 2 hours, wasn't that long, but there's a documentary on there called LA 92.
Wait, is that the one with the Rodney King beatings?
Yes.
And all that? Yeah. I saw that. I actually started watching that.
Dude, that's like a 2 hour microcosm of everything that we, and by we I mean mostly you, preach on this show. I'm watching that documentary, and the first half hour, 40 minutes or so, I felt really fucking bad even for Rodney King. And I still kind of think that Rodney King got a bad deal. I mean, whether he was a scumbag or not, to get fucking clubbed 50, 60 fucking times when he was clearly on the ground, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I agree. It was just that those cops were just so pissed off and raging at that time that they were just like, yeah, we're going to beat this guy.
Yeah. And they should have done jail time for that. I'll side right along with the community on that. They should have gotten something. At least one of them. Somebody should have gone to jail for. You cannot beat somebody with a fucking baton an extra 30 times. Okay, once he was down on the ground, somebody got it. One sensible person has to be like, all right, dude, that's it. He's done. Didn't happen. But the other 90 minutes of that documentary was like it was almost like, and Neeley says, I wish I had my bumper, because everything that they showed after was just nonstop behavior of fucking lunatics.
Yeah.
Just insane. I mean, I'm all for, and I've said this on the show before, I'm all for protest. I'm even for violent protest if that's what you want to do. If you want to have a violent protest and you take it to the source, that's one thing. Going out into the streets and stealing fucking TVs and tennis shoes and shit like that is just fucking behavior problem 101.
Yeah, I agree.
And those people should have been gunned down. I was watching this thing. I don't know where I was in 92 that I don't remember much of it. Maybe I just didn't care. That's probably what it was. I was like, it's in fucking California. What do I give a fuck? In my head, I was probably thinking, wow, this will make a good NWA album. That's probably all I had in my head.
Yeah,
but
I was on the road at that point. I was driving cross country. I was a cross country truck driver. So whenever I caught up with any of that Rodney King stuff, I would see it at a truck stop on a TV or something.
Okay, so you were probably like, fuck that, not going through there.
Yeah.
But, dude, all the behavior was just that. It was just fucking asshole behavior.
Yeah.
Just these fucking idiots jumping on cars and throwing rocks in cars and fucking shooting at cars and shit. I mean, I didn't realize any of that shit happened. They had some really cool video. I mean, it's cool to me, but of the Koreans defending, because I guess there was like 2 nights of it. The first night was just where they were just lighting everything on fire in L.A., but then the second night was when they went up into Koreatown and started trying to burn down Koreatown. And when they started doing that, the Koreans took to the streets with guns. I didn't realize that at all. And they had all this footage of They had these 2 Korean guys guarding their place and just fucking gunning people down. And I mean, they were literally gunning people down. People were coming up and either shooting at them or throwing rocks at them or something. It was like, pop, pop, pop. I was like, holy shit. This can't be America, can it? But yeah, just behavior unhinged, man. It was like, and I'll bet you not 1% of the people that acted like fucking assholes did any time. Do you think they did?
Probably.
You think they did?
Not really, no.
I mean, do you think that the cops studied the film and went after people, or did they just say, fuck it, it's not worth the hassle now?
Yeah, it's probably not worth the hassle.
Yeah, or not worth the, probably more to the fact, not worth the continued riots that would come back from arresting a few of these assholes.
Right.
You know, just a mess. It's like, I'm watching that, and I'm thinking, all right, we got another fucking group of loons out there today. Right now, you know, as I was watching it this afternoon, I was like, man, this could erupt into this like nothing. You know, so easily this could erupt into that. Thank God I guess it didn't. I don't know. I didn't watch any news today. Did it?
I just saw that there was those marches and so forth. But, you know, this whole thing, that this media is just so out of control.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of hearing about them talking about these kids at that Parkland school in Florida as being shooting survivors.
Yeah, no, they're not.
They're not shooting survivors.
A shooting survivor, somebody got hit with a bullet.
Yeah, they were shooting observers.
Yeah, they were in the same building.
Yeah, they're not survivors.
Yeah. They might be a little scared because a gun got in their building, but they're not surviving anything, no. And
a shooting survivor so-and-so gave a speech, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're not a survivor. You just happened to be there.
And who made this fucking hog guy the spokesperson for Kids Against Guns?
Well, he's the plant.
Oh, is that what it is? Is he their paid assassin?
I think so. He's the guy that they inserted to, he's the character actor.
Oh, is he?
I don't know. That's the conspiracy.
Oh, because I mean, I see him getting all this run on the news and on TV and, you know, like his opinion. And I'm like, this is some 17-year-old fucking punk. Who the fuck is he to tell me anything? Fuck you.
Who the fuck are you, shitwad?
Exactly. But then I saw that there was another kid that was on Fox News that was also in the same school and preaching the other side of it. No coverage other than the one interview he did with whoever. Neil Cavuto or whoever the fuck it was. I don't even know. But I didn't watch either. I just saw their two faces. I was like, okay, this guy's a Parkland survivor, and this guy's a Parkland survivor. And I'm like, well, how come one is getting all the fucking attention? And then I was like, oh yeah, the media. You know, the stupid lemmings on, you know, that get their news from social media. Once again, being led right by the nose by these fucking jizz buckets in the media.
Who the fuck are you, shitwad?
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's a bunch of fucking turds.
Right. Well, speaking of things to watch, and,
yes.
You know, I've been on this documentary kick.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a documentary. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti.
Okay.
It's a whole breakdown of that album, but everything that led up to that album.
Okay.
And it's about an hour and 40 minutes, and it was really well done.
All right.
And they talked about, you know, where some of the music came from. Some of the music on that was a holdover from like Led Zeppelin 3 and
sure.
Led Zeppelin 4 and, you know, different things like that, and
right.
what influenced the songs and, you know, the recording aspect. And one of the most interesting guys that they had as part of the interview process was Ron Nevison.
Okay.
And they had him on there, and he basically ran the mobile truck because they recorded that thing at Headley Grange, which is basically an old farmhouse.
Okay.
So they had to bring mobile truck equipment in
right.
to record it. And he was basically telling about the whole setup and what he had to do as the engineer and, you know, miking up the entire house.
Right.
They basically turned the house into a studio.
Okay.
And he talked about how, you know, they would get going at like noon, and they would record till like midnight.
Okay,
and
wow.
he said, by this time I'm just dead tired.
Sure.
And he says, so I stayed there at the Headley Range, and we all kind of stayed there and did our recording. He says, but these guys would always get up at like 3:00 in the morning, or they'd be partying at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then they'd come wake me up because they were inspired to record.
Nice.
So he said I would have to go out and, unlock the truck and get the equipment fired up so they could all sit around and record what they thought was going to be a masterpiece or something.
Sure.
And he said it just got to the point to where I had to go get a room, or I lived like an hour away.
Okay.
So I just went home every day, so I didn't have to be bothered at 3:00 in the morning.
Nice.
So he was telling all these good stories, and I thought, man, that, as much as Led Zeppelin is hailed as probably the greatest rock band that ever was.
Sure.
Just listening to the stories and listening to the snippets, and they had a lot of live performances from various things over the years.
Right.
Those guys were fucking killer.
Oh, yeah. They were.
But you get a newfound respect. I mean, you hear Zeppelin songs all the time, but until you listen to it or hear about it in that context, you gain a whole different level of appreciation for it.
Sure. Well, dude, and it's weird that when you hear even songs that but you hear them a different way, they're just good. Like, it's funny you brought up Zepp, because they just re-released on Friday How the West Was Won, reissued. Right. And I'm not going to lie, I purposely did not buy this thing, because as much of a Zepp fan as I am, that all by itself was not a reissue, but it was not out that long ago to where it needs a remaster. It didn't come out in 1973. Didn't it come out in like 2005 or something like that?
It hasn't been that long. It's probably been within the last 10 years or so.
Yeah. So a remaster of that, I thought, what a fucking ripoff. There's 4 tunes on the back end of it, and it's all songs and all 4 are fucking amazing. Because I went into it completely like I listened to it on Apple thinking, that's the only way I'm ever going to hear this is on Apple Music.
Right.
And now I'm thinking I'm going to buy it because it's worth having those 4 songs, because they do them. It's different jams, and it's way older jammy type Zeppelin that I like, and like Whole Lotta Love is like one of those 20-minute jams that just breaks off into a bunch of crazy shit and then all of a sudden finds its way back. It's like, fuck, yes.
Well, that's interesting you brought up that point, because as part of the discussion about this, they talked about how unique each individual Led Zeppelin live show was.
Sure.
At every show, they would just go off on a tangent. Mm-hmm. And they'll do something that they didn't do the night before, or it was all spontaneity is what it was.
Right.
So Whole Lotta Love might be 5 minutes tonight, but it might be 20 minutes tomorrow.
Right.
So you never know where it's going to take you. So each Zeppelin show was unique in its own way. It wasn't just, they didn't come out and play the same 12 songs and leave the stage. They went off on a tangent.
Yeah, they were one of those bands that you might go see, and if they had 2 hours, say they had 2 hours to be on stage, you potentially could get 5 songs with Zepp, because they would just jam. I mean, they would do sometimes 30 minutes of Dazed and Confused. Dazed and Confused just got longer and longer and longer with each tour. But it's all good, though. I mean, I can't think of a time I've ever heard any Zeppelin bootleg or anything that sounded bad or even out of tune. They just were good.
Yeah.
Just an amazing band, man.
Yeah. They had Chris DeRaja from the Yardbirds on there talking about, when he played with Jimmy in the Yardbirds.
Sure.
And he would comment on, the development of the Zeppelin sound, that derived from what Jimmy was doing with the Yardbirds.
Okay.
And things like that. So it's a very well done documentary. So it's just Led Zeppelin physical graffiti.
All right, I'll have to check it. Dude,
it's on Amazon.
Speaking of videos, I doubt you've seen this or are aware of it. I just became aware of it today, and I watched like 2 episodes. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Have you heard about the new series that's going on now, Keeping Up with the Sebastians?
I know of it, but I don't know if I could watch a train wreck like that.
Oh my God. It's Sebastian Bach. He's filming the making of his new album, whatever his new album is going to be, and he's releasing it like it's interesting. The first two episodes are, one of them's like 10 minutes long, and the other one's like 45 minutes or 35 minutes or something. The first 2 episodes are him. He decided to not go to a studio to record drums. So the first 2 episodes are him having a crew come and modify a shed in his backyard into a drum room.
Okay.
But that's all it is. It's Sebastian walking around and his chick and like the workers that he hired. And it's all like, well, this needs to be an extra 3/8 of an inch here. And, you know, we got to nail this in. And his chick comes in and goes, oh, we could paint this with sunflowers. It's like, ooh, go back in the house, hon. You know, your job is to be pretty and suck my dick once a day, not to fucking work on this room. But literally, it's just watching him build this shed, and it's a shed. You know, it's like, you know, the shed in my backyard. It's not as big as that one, and he's going to record his drums there for some reason.
Well, I think it's an ego stroke too for Sebastian, because I think he can truthfully say that he's still playing sheds.
Yeah, I guess there is that. But dude, why would you put that out on YouTube? Talk about, I mean, I'm all for, you know, doing real world stuff, but do people need to know that your career's gone to a point where you have to record in your backyard? I mean, you're Sebastian fucking Bach. You've sold 20 million records, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, time has not been kind to him. He looks like a mess.
He looks bad, man.
Looks terrible.
And it's not even the weight. It looks like he did lose some of the weight, not all of it, but some of it. But just, he looks like the guy that you see at the end of the bar that's like 70.
Yeah.
You know, his hair's all stringy now, and
his skin is just a mess, and his teeth are raggedy and just look like they're just ready to fall out of his mouth.
He looks all alcohol bloated. You know, it's not a good look for him. And admittedly, he's showing himself working on a fucking house, so that's probably not helping anything, but you know, he still looks like shit.
Yeah.
And that's what he's putting out.
He's like only 52 or 53, I think.
No, he does not look super healthy.
Not at all.
I mean, I love Sebastian. I mean, he's like one of the more fun interviews to ever do. I mean, that's the only way I know him. I've met him once or twice, and I've interviewed him. We've interviewed him on this show a couple of times. I've interviewed him on other shows a couple of times. And he's always been cool to me. I mean, he's never been a problem. But he does make some decisions that are a little questionable sometimes.
Yeah, he's looking pretty bad.
Dude, and I gotta say, MTV must have been thoroughly fucking embarrassed with that rap battle show that they did, because that's not anywhere.
Yeah.
Can't find that on YouTube or anything. I would love to find that on YouTube and watch it again. I used to love to watch Sebastian trying to rap. That was just the best.
I want to see some panties dropping.
Yeah, I want to see some panties dropping. Dude, that was such a fun show. We did that. We like featured that like every week. It was.
Yeah, I mean, every week you would grab the audio clips from that, and we would kind of, you know, analyze it a little bit.
But it was just of Sebastian. We didn't even care about any of the other acts. It was only Sebastian we cared about. That show was great. That was gold for this show. No question. I was devastated when he didn't make it all the way to the finals, because I wanted to hear him try and do like a full song recorded. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Ugh. He's tough to look at these days.
Yeah, and he doesn't sound as good either, from what I've seen on YouTube. Now that could just be individual shows, but I haven't seen him in quite a while.
Yeah. Well, I saw him. What was the last time I saw him? Probably like 3 summers ago.
Dude, I think it's been 10 years for me.
Yeah, I saw him three summers ago out at that Farm Rock Fest.
Okay, I think the last time I saw him was that Poison Doc and Sebastian Bach show, but that was 2008?
That was 2009 or 10.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
2010.
So that was the last time I saw him. How many years was that? 8 years ago?
8 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And he was good that night, but that was when he was still sort of looking like Sebastian Bach. Now he looks like a balloon animal of Sebastian Bach.
Yeah. Well, that booze takes its toll, man.
It does, and he certainly likes the booze, that's for sure.
It does, absolutely.
No.
All right, dude. Well, I say we take a little break here. We'll switch over.
Okay.
And we'll get things rolling in the right direction.
Sounds good.
But all you have to do is just disconnect, and I'm gonna play some Stephen Pearcy, some Oh God Stephen Pearcy on my end.
All right.
And so those of you who are tuned in, what are you using for streaming? Just the one server, or what?
Yeah, just the one, just on the TuneIn app. All
right. So we'll be firing on all the outlets after this break. So if you want to tune in some other way, everything else should be working.
All right.
Well, I have a unreleased Stephen Pearcy song here that Stephen shared with me a couple years ago, actually, prior to the release of Smash.
All right.
This was one of the tracks that I think was supposed to be on Smash. It might be a bonus track.
Shh.
But I'm going to play some Stephen Pearcy. This one is called Recipe for Disaster.
All right.
So here it is. It's Stephen Pearcy exclusively here
on your classic metal show.